I'll tell you straight up, if you ever want to see just how weird people get about try plowing snow during a blizzard in the suburbs. I mean the kind of night where you're out there thinking, what else could possibly go wrong? And the universe answers with, well, how about a Mercedes blocking the whole damn road and someone in it who thinks she's the law? Yeah, welcome to my life. So I'm Henry. Been running a small snow removal and landscaping business out here in McHenry County for what, a dozen years now. Started with just me, a rusty old Ford, and a plow I picked up secondhand. You know how it goes, scraping by, literally. These days I've got 6 trucks a crew that actually gives a damn, and in winter we get called up to help the county when the real storms hit, nights like this. That evening the snow came down so hard it sounded like the world was being muffled, like someone turned down the volume on everything except my truck engine and the scrape of metal on ice. They'd been warning us storm's coming, it's a big one. By 4 p.m., the governor calls a state of emergency for the whole northern chunk of Illinois, and I'm already fielding calls from the county. Dispatch wants all hands on deck. 3 of my guys are out. I'm in the big rig grinding up and down Route 47, salt spinning from the back. At first it's almost peaceful if you like your peace cold and backbreaking. Then around 9, dispatch radios in Henry. We need you to swing through Willowbrook Estates. Main plow's down. There's cars stuck on Meadow View. Willowbrook. Man, if you ever want to know what HOA hell looks like. Picture identical houses, every lawn, the same size, rules for everything, right down to the mailbox paint. I never got their contract. They'd always go cheap and then call me to complain when their guy skipped out. Whatever. Tonight I'm here for the county. I turn into Willowbrook crawling along amber lights, flashing snow so thick the wipers barely make a dent, moving at a crawl, shoving piles ahead of me. That's when I see it. Headlights, mid-block car, parked sideways across Meadowview Drive. Black Mercedes, big SUV, blocking the whole damn road. I figure, okay, maybe someone's panicked, spun out, needs help. I sit there in the truck, strobe lights going horn blasting. Nothing. She doesn't move. I grab my jacket, radio, dispatch, step out into snow up over my boots. Walk up, tap on her window with my flashlight. She cracks it barely. I see this woman, mid-40s, icy stare hair, perfectly colored nails, done jacket, probably worth more than my mortgage payment. She hits me with, "Can I help you?" in that voice you use when you want to make someone feel about 2 feet tall. "Yeah, ma'am. County snow removal. Need you to move your car so I can clear the street." She blinks at me. I don't think so. You ever get that feeling where your brain just sort of stutters? That was me. I'm sorry. What? She says it again, all calm. "You're not authorized to be here. This is a private community. We have our own contractor. You need to leave." "Ma'am, these are public roads. I've got county emergency clearance. I'm just here to clear a path." She shakes her head. "You're not plowing our streets. Our bylaws say only approved contractors can touch community property." I could feel my jaw tightening. I've dealt with difficult people before, but never someone just willfully in the way, like it was a contest she had to win. I try to explain state of emergency, legal authority, all that. She doesn't budge. Tells me if I touch her car or mess up her road, she'll have me arrested. She'll sue the county, the works. Rolls the window up and stares dead ahead, arms crossed. I trudge back to my truck, snow plastered everywhere, and my phone's already ringing. It's Garrett from County Emergency. "Henry, what's going on?" I tell him. He just sighs. Let me guess. Brenda Peterson, blonde, late 40s, black Mercedes. Yep, that's Brenda. She does this every year. "Look, you're fully authorized. If she won't move, call the sheriff. They'll cite her for obstruction." I ask him, "How long will that take?" He laughs. "Could be an hour. Could be 3. Sheriff's dealing with wrecks everywhere. Meanwhile, snow keeps coming, the road's vanishing. I'm debating whether to try plowing around her when I spot headlights behind me. County Road Department, big truck, Rick Sampson. I've known Rick for years. He's got that look, you know, the don't mess with me stare, and a beard that could scrape paint. "Henry, what's the holdup?" I nod toward the Mercedes. HOA president, blocking the road. He just groans. Brenda Peterson. He calls the sheriff, gets the same answer, 2-hour minimum. He stomps over, knocks hard on her window. "Ma'am, you need to move. Now." She gives him the same story, says she's protecting her community. Rick's face goes about 3 shades redder. "Ma'am, you're not protecting anyone. If an ambulance needs this road, you're putting people at risk." She shrugs. "Not my problem. Should have gotten authorization." We walk back, Rick fuming. "I've done this for 23 years, Henry. Never wanted to push someone's car off the road so bad. I shrug. So what do we do? He grins. We do our jobs. And he goes back to his truck. You ever watch a man methodically bury a Mercedes with nothing but pure stubbornness and 12 tons of snow? Rick goes back and forth, plow blade always happening to push snow right up against her car. The more she sits, the higher those banks get. I spend the next hour clearing every other street I can by the time I circle back. Meadow View looks like an Arctic fortress. Her car's trapped in a snowy moat 4 feet deep. Rick leans on his truck, sipping coffee, looks innocent as can be. Snow's got to go somewhere, right? I can't help it. I'm laughing. You buried her. I cleared the road, he says. Can she get out? Don't know. Don't care. Sure enough, engine fires up. She spins the wheels. Nothing. Tries the door. It opens maybe 8 inches. She's stuck. Rick just shrugs. Storm's not letting up, Henry. By morning, she'll have another 6 inches on top. We both look up as dispatch comes through. Storm warnings upgraded, 2 feet expected. A sheriff finally shows up around midnight, stands there blinking at the scene, her car barely visible above the drifts. Talks to Brenda, comes over to me. You with the county. I tell him the story straight up. Who said what happened, that Rick and I were just doing our jobs? He shakes his head, tries not to smile. She says you maliciously buried her. Wants to press charges. But far as I see it, you did your job. I ought to cite her for blocking a public road during an emergency. She's lucky. You know, the funny part is she lives 3 houses down. She could have been home in 2 minutes. But she sits in that car just waiting like it's about principle now. Sometimes people dig their own holes and then refuse to climb out. I keep plowing. Hours past. Storm finally lets up. I swing by one last time around 3. Her car's basically a white lump, but she's gone. Guess she finally walked home. I figure, all right, that's over. Except it isn't. Next morning, I get a call from a local attorney. She's representing the HOA, claiming I caused $8,000 in damages to Brenda's Mercedes. Something about crushed door seals, paint, scratches, detailing. I'm so stunned I laugh. She threatens to serve me papers. I hang up, call the county. They assure me I'm covered. You're operating under emergency authority, Henry. Let us handle it. That afternoon, Rick and I debrief at the county yard, coffee sandwiches, dead tired. Rick grunts. Brenda called the county supervisor at 10 last night. Screamed about us ruining her car. Supervisor told her to move it next time. That's it. Week goes on. Brenda's car is still in the news. Local station comes out, interviews the neighbors. Everyone has a Brenda story. There's a recall petition finally hits the threshold. Emergency HOA meeting. Mark, one of the board guys, calls me practically giddy. She's out. Voted her off, barred from ever serving again. Judge tosses the lawsuit rules in favor of the county, orders her to pay costs. And just when I think it's over, Brenda starts calling my clients, telling them I'm reckless, sharing photos of her destroyed car. I lose 3 accounts. That's when I draw the line, call the county legal. We send her a cease and desist. Within a week, the clients are back. Turns out nobody wants to deal with that kind of drama. A couple months later, Mark calls again. Brenda's house garden full of ruined HOA documents. Turns out she'd been destroying records, even burning some. Financial stuff, resident info, the works. Cops show up, arrest her on the spot. Charges stack up, document destruction, financial mismanagement. She goes to trial, gets convicted on all counts. Judge gives her house arrest, restitution, bans her from ever touching HOA affairs again. You'd think I'd feel nothing but relief, but honestly, I just felt tired. She could have walked away so many times, just moved her car, accepted the loss, let it go. But no, she pushed it until there was no going back. Funny thing is, the very next winter, the new board hires me for the snow contract. Pays fair, no trouble. People come out, bring coffee, wave, thanks. Mark pulls me aside one night, says, "You helped get her out. This place is better now." It hits me then. All that mess, lawsuits, power plays, that stubborn Mercedes under a mountain of snow, none of it really mattered. What mattered was people being able to get to work, ambulances, making it through the road safe, doing my job, just that. You know, sometimes I still drive by that street on stormy nights and I remember Brenda sitting in her car, refusing to move, certain she was right. One small, stubborn act and a whole avalanche of consequences. Makes you wonder, why do people hold on to power so tight they end up trapped by it? So tell me, where do you draw the line? When is standing your ground the right thing and when is it just ego? Ever see someone like Brenda in your neighborhood? I'd love to hear how you'd handle it. Or maybe you've been the one stuck, maybe not in snow, but in something else that just kept piling up. Let me know, because out here sometimes justice looks like a buried Mercedes, and a neighborhood finally breathing easy. And sometimes it's just one guy pushing snow in the dark, trying to make the road clear for whoever comes next.